Hello and welcome to Dadvice. Thank you very much for stopping by. In today's video, we are going to be talking about feeding your baby, whether that's breastfeeding, formula feeding, and I'm going to share my thoughts and my experiences on this topic. It's a really complicated topic. It's a bigger topic than just one video, so I'm really going to try and distill this down into just a few kind of key thoughts that I think will help you out. And before we get started, as always, if you haven't already, please do go ahead and hit subscribe. Do it now. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So 3 top tips from me. We're going to start with the first one, which is make an informed decision. I don't think it will necessarily shock anybody to know that there is quite a lot of pressure, whether it's from doctors or midwives or just society in general, for mothers to breastfeed rather than go to formula or an alternative like that. What I wasn't prepared for though was how sneaky they are with it. You know when you want to go out for a few drinks with the guys and you say to your other half, is it cool if I go out for a couple of drinks tonight? Well, yeah, do whatever you want. Do whatever I want. Are you saying no? I feel like you're saying no. No, I'm not saying no. I'm saying, do whatever you think is the right thing to do. That's what the midwives are like. They're like, we're super open-minded. You can breastfeed or bottle feed or whichever. It really doesn't make any difference, Assuming you make the right decision and breastfeed, then this is the advice that blah, 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 blah. I'm exaggerating, but only very slightly. They will talk to you for hours and hours and hours. They'll set up clinics. They'll do all kinds of stuff, free things that you can go to at the hospital to teach you how to breastfeed. When it comes to bottle feeding, they're like, yeah, no, you're on your own. But they're totally impartial. They insist that they don't mind which one you do. They dedicate hours of resource to one and absolutely nothing at all to another, but they're totally whichever one. If you're able to zoom out, I can laugh about it now, but at the time when you're first kind of going through it, it's such an integral part. Feeding your babies is the most important thing that you will do in those opening weeks. It's like all you think about. To have that pressure put on top of it is not very helpful. So make an informed decision. And in order to do that, unfortunately, the chances are you're not going to be able to rely on NHS leaflets and midwife advice. In my experience, unfortunately, you're likely to get just one side of the coin from that source. There's a lot of people, books, vloggers, Instagrammers, all of these kind of channels that are dedicated to extolling the virtues of breastfeeding and how it's the best thing for your baby. And it's even got to the point now where a lot of these kind of articles and leaflets will start with, as everybody knows, breastfeeding is the best thing for your baby. So I was really interested when it came to us that to actually find out, well, does everyone know this? Where are they getting this information? Like how does everybody know that this is the best thing? So I was absolutely amazed to find that given how many people are ready to tell you straight off the bat that, oh, well, obviously breastfeeding is the best thing for a baby, how thin on the ground the evidence to support that is. I could hardly find any kind of clinical trials. A lot of the evidence that does support it is either outdated or wasn't kind of conducted in what we would call a kind of clinically sound environment at all, i.e. not taking into account various different factors that might otherwise influence the result. And yet still there's people that are claiming that breastfeeding will improve the chances of your baby having a higher IQ or less chance of obesity later in life. But the evidence to support it isn't really there. So as I say, make informed decisions. Don't just succumb to, oh, well, everyone says this. Have a look around, see what information is there and what means the most to you and make decisions based on that. The other thing to consider is the opportunity cost. Now, this is an economics term. It basically means whatever perceived benefit is over here, does it outweigh what you're giving up over here to achieve it? So with the example of breastfeeding, say you buy into the idea that it's definitely there are more health benefits associated with breastfeeding than there are bottle feeding. Let's just take that as a given for now, for the sake of argument. If it's not working for whatever reason, and there could be 100 different reasons why not, far too many to get into here, that can cause quite a lot of stress, anxiety, because feeding your baby is so important. And if it's not working properly, that's gonna get you all worked up. So that makes you wonder, do the perceived health benefits that you're passing on to your baby by breastfeeding outweigh the amount of stress and anxiety that you're then bringing them up in? That atmosphere is not going to be good for them. It's going to transfer to them. If you're stressed out parents, then you're going to have a stressed out baby as well. Does that then negate any of the benefits that you were trying to achieve in the first place? It's for you to decide. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying make informed decisions and consider all of the options. Look at the whole picture when you make your decision. And the third tip, this is slightly more geared particularly for the dads, is be prepared for mum's hormonal surges when it comes to this. The instinct for her to feed her child is so much more powerful than either me or my wife were prepared for. So no matter how many kind of rational, logical discussions we would have, there was this part of her that was just, there was no letting go of the breastfeeding side of things, you know? So be ready for that. Don't get frustrated. Don't let it get on top of you. Just keep supporting. That's what you're there to do. And as a closing thought on this, my view is that in order for a baby to be well, the parents have to be well. Whatever you decide to do, whether it's breastfeeding or bottle feeding, I would say that you've got to do something that is going to be sustainable for both of you for the long run. If you're setting off down a path from the outset that is getting you both stressed out or it's not working, it's only going to have a negative effect on your baby. And you really want to be able to get to a place where you're building those routines once your baby gets old enough, and where you're actually enjoying the parenting process, and it's not just a kind of a chore and that you're trying to get through it, that you're actually enjoying yourselves. That's going to bring the best kind of parenting side out of you. So I would definitely recommend having those discussions, taking on board the tips that I've mentioned, and making a decision that is going to lead both of you to a happier, healthier place. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's also it for this year. I'm taking a little bit of time out. You'll still be able to follow me over on Instagram at Dadvice Official. So make sure you go and follow me over there. And then when we're rebooting the kind of the YouTube side of stuff, you'll be able to get the notifications there. And again, if you hit subscribe, they'll pop up and let you know that I am back in action. In the meantime, do take a look back through all of the other videos that I've done. There's plenty of content on there. You can reach out to me at any time. As I say, Instagram at Dadvice Official, or you can send me a message here on YouTube, and I'll still be on hand to deal with any kind of advice or anything that you might need that you haven't been able to find elsewhere. I hope you found today's video helpful, and I will be back with some more Dadvice kinda soon. Until then, take it easy.